My 5 best memories of England. I think I'll start off with one. As an England fan, going to Hampden Park in '84 and seeing Gary Lineker's debut, and he came on and I think he replaced Tony Woodcock. You just thought, oof, what a talent this is. And so that was hope for the future. It was quite sort of exciting being there, particularly when Tony Woodcock scored. I was in with the Scotland fans, and fortunately I had some friendly Scottish friends around me who just sort of stopped me from leaping up too much, because it would have been the Battle of Bannockburn, but with a different result. Other results, Euro '96 here, the game against Holland, 4-1. Obviously the England fans loved it because of the quality of the football and the fact that Patrick Kluivert scored for Holland, which knocked the Scots out. I can't remember the last time I actually heard an opponent's goal cheered so much by England fans. But it was the quality of football last night, the intelligence, the runs of Gascoigne, the interplay between Sheringham and Shearer, and the brutal finishing of Shearer. And you came out of the game that night and you thought, England can take on anyone in the world. Of course, the usual unfortunately happened, but I think a third memory would definitely be 2001, England 5-1 in Munich. Even Heskey scored. There was a moment just before half-time when there was a corner and you could almost hear Gerrard shouting set, set to Rio Ferdinand to set him up with the ball, and Rio Ferdinand laid the ball off and Gerrard snaked in that low shot. England were ahead and then they just took Germany, good Germany team apart. Remember, they got to, as the Germans do, they got to the World Cup final a year later, but England took them apart. So the England fans coming out of the stadium that night, the old Olympic Stadium, it was a magical moment. I went into a bar with a few England fans and the place was full of very quiet Germans sort of staring down into their beers, and they looked up and saw the England fans and applauded them, which I thought was a nice touch. I think I would also go for one of the most intelligent performances I've ever seen from an England team was in Rome in 1997 under Glenn Hoddle, when England needed a point against Italy to qualify for France '98, and it was such a difficult team to play against Italy. I don't think they even dropped any points at home in qualifying. And yet England went out there. Hoddle had them set up brilliantly in a very un-English way. They were very tightly organised. Ian Wright was up front on his own, ran himself into the ground. The defence was outstanding. Seaman was in goal. And they just worked and worked and worked. Obviously, remember Paul Ince having his head opened up with a stray elbow, and he had to go off, and England suspected dirty tricks because they couldn't find the key to the dressing room door, so England were down to 10 men. So it was a night of real adversity. The Italian fans were having a go at the English. It seemed like even the groundsman was having a go at the English, and yet they held on and they got the point. Ian Wright at the end of the game, very emotional, was down on his knees in the centre circle, just sobbing with tears, and Robbie Fowler went up to him, hauled him up and said, you know, what are you crying for? This is what we do with England, you know, we give everything. So that was a magical moment. I would also say another game under Hoddle I thought was an outstanding tactical coach was the game in Saint Etienne, another brave failure by England. They went out, but against Argentina, David Beckham got sent off, but England played magnificently in adversity. You had Shearer and Owen up front. Hoddle was brave. He could have taken Owen off. Owen was a teenager, was young. Obviously, he scored that great goal, opening goal against the Argentinians. Well, his run, but he was brave and he kept Owen on. He withdrew Owen to play wide with Beckham having gone off, and Owen just gave everything for 10 minutes there. Then Owen went up front and Shearer went on the right as well. So tactically, Hoddle got his tactics right that night. Again, sadly, it went to penalties. What would have happened if David Beckham had stayed on? England might have won that tournament.